Hi folks, my name is Neil and this is my YouTube channel Neil Talks, where I intend to keep everyone updated with the modern trends happening around the world. So if you like my channel, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment and share my videos. This video will assess the consequences and causes of war on an economy. The indicators that have been analyzed throughout the first part of the video are economic growth, employment opportunities, social attitudes of the local people, and technological innovations. War can make the economy grow by creating jobs. It causes a boom in the manufacturing sector as the production of weapons and ammo rises. In times of conflicts, more individuals are buying weapons and ammo. Thus, money changes hands, which in turn benefits the people selling the weapons and thus having a positive impact on the economy. War speeds up innovation. Wars are terrible, but the positive thing that comes out from it is that it speeds up technological innovation. From the history, we can clearly see that during the World War I, tanks, zippers, aircrafts, and gas masks were invented. During World War II, the concept of nuclear energy, rockets, computers, radar, and penicillin came into effect. The way these innovations work is that individuals are allowed to conduct research in different fields that would provide them with answers and solutions in times of crisis. History is written when war happens, and those who become a part of this history plays an important role in shaping the course of history. It can cause a bit of freedom. Some wars, like the French Revolution that was fought between 1978 to 1999, started with an aim of freeing people from oppression. It did ignore the monarchy and aristocracy, which previously ignored the people of France and imposed heavy taxes. In recent times, the Cuban Revolution that happened during the 1950s saw the government being overthrown in a coup designed to bring about a fairer society. Now the next part of the video will focus on the causes of war. There are 8 main reasons behind why a war takes place. The first reason is economic gains. Several times a war is caused when a country tries to gain control over the wealth of another country. In pre-industrial times, the main reasons of a conflict might be precious materials such as gold and silver, or livestock such as cattle and horses. In modern times, a war is mainly caused due to items such as oil, minerals, or materials that are used in manufacturing. Some researchers even believe that as the world population rises and the necessities falls, war can be fought over common items such as water and food. An historical example of conflicts taking place on the grounds of economic gains are the Anglo-Indian War that was fought between 1766 to 1849. These wars were fought between the British East India Company and different Indian states. This led to the establishment of the British colonial rule in India that gave them access to exotic resources native to the Indian subcontinent. The next reason is territorial gain. Territories can be used as buffer zones between two hostile enemies. A buffer zone in this context is a neutral area, the purpose of which is to keep apart hostile nations or forces. Sometimes a country might need some additional land for living space, agricultural use, or some other purposes. Related buffer zones are proxy wars. These are often fought between opposing powers in a third country. Each power supports the side that best suits their logistical, military, and economic interests. Proxy wars were particularly common during the Cold War era. A historical example of a war that was fought on the basis for territorial gain includes the Mexican-American War that was fought between 1846 and 1848. This war was fought following the annexation of Texas, with Mexico still claiming the land as their own. The US outfought the Mexicans, retaining Texas and claiming it as a state. The next reason is religion. Religious wars have often been tied to other reasons for conflict, such as nationalism or revenge for a perceived historical slight in the past. Religion conflicts often have very deep roots and can lie dormant for decades, only to re-emerge in a flash later. There may be instances where different sects within a religion, such as the Protestant and Catholic or Sunni and Shiite, battling against one another can also result in a war. An example of religious war that have happened in the past are the Crusades, which happened between 1095 to 1291. The Crusades were a series of wars that were granted by the Latin Church during the medieval age. The aim of crusaders was to respect Islam as well as spread the idea of Christianity. Revolutionary wars. This type of wars occurs when a particular section of the society revolts against a particular group or an individual that rules the country as they are dissatisfied with their leadership. It can start due to several reasons, such as economic hardships among a particular section of the society or perceived injustices committed by a given ruling group. An example of a revolutionary war includes the American Revolution that happened between 1775 to 1783. The American Revolution gave the 30 North American colonies independence from the British rule and established USA as an independent country. Civil wars. These generally happens when there is a strong degree of disagreement within a country. These disagreements can be regarding who will be ruling the country, how the country should be run, or regarding human rights. It can also be sparked by separatist groups who want to form their own independent country, or in the case of the American Civil War, where states wanting to secede from a larger union. An example includes the American Civil War that was fought between 1861 to 1865. This war was fought by the Union Army and the Confederate Army as the result of the long-standing controversy over slavery. Nationalism. Nationalism basically means proving to someone that your country is essentially better than another one by violent subjugation. This often takes a form of invasion. Racism can also be linked with this topic. This was seen in the case of Hitler's Germany. Adolf Hitler went on war with a Russia party because the Russians were seen as a group of people who the Nazis believed to be an inferior race. Related to nationalism is imperialism, which is built upon the idea that conquering other countries is glorious and brings honor and glory to the conquerors. An example of a war that was fought on nationalism grounds was the World War I, that was fought for 4 consecutive years from 1914 to 1918. Extreme loyalty as well as patriotism encouraged several countries to become involved in the First World War. Many pre-war Europeans believed in the cultural, economic, and military supremacy of their nations. Defensive wars. In the modern era, we all know that the military aggression is widely questioned. Countries would often argue that they are fighting in a purely defensive capacity against a potential aggressor, and that therefore is just a war. These defensive wars are quite controversial when they are launched preemptively. The main argument being that we are attacking them before they can inevitably attack us. An example of a defensive war would include the Iraqi conflict that started in 2003 and is still being continued till date, which was a very controversial war as the allegations made about the weapons of mass destruction made by the US and UK were shown to lack substance. Revenge. Revenge can be a major reason why a war takes place. Revenge refers to nationalism, as the people who have been wronged are motivated to fight back by pride and spirit. Unfortunately, this can lead to an endless chain of retaliatory wars, which can be quite difficult to stop. Historically, revenge has been a major reason for many European wars. Some historical examples of wars that were fought for revenge mainly includes the World War II that was fought for 6 consecutive years from 1939 to 1945, and the War on Terror, which mainly included the September 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center that prompted former American President George Bush to initiate War on Terror. Thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Stay safe and healthy.